Hello my homo sapiens, welcome to another video. It's your boy Llama Connor here live once again. Today we are starting off this series with a particular individual, a special someone from last year. Interacting with her was probably one of the best and fun things I did last year, and I thought I knew her. I thought I knew her so well, but it seems that I didn't know her at all, not well enough. And what a loss to spend that much time with someone only to find out that she's a stranger again. And I guess in these current times, even though I've moved on, you just have to accept it and move on and dance away the pain. That's all you gotta do. Sorry, I'm just reminiscing about the first time I met her and the last time I saw her. The last time I saw her was like in late of last year, like October, November. But anyway, let's call this person Valerie. Call her Val for short. I think it means strong and healthy in Greek, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but it's also ironic. But anyway, the story begins in my last few years of university, where I was working at the university library. At that time, I was a media studio consultant, basically educating and helping out and mentoring students and other people alike with their digital literacy skills, from audio to digital edit, from video editing to just educating about copyright and all that stuff. And that was a good time. That was probably one of the best part-time jobs I ever had, man. Anyways, the first time I saw her was probably through work. And I remember my first day on the job, we didn't really look at each other. My first impression was she was the meanest one in the crowd. Like, she had that stuck up face on her, and it seemed like she didn't like me at all. But then throughout the year, I suppose, we would get shifts together quite often, actually. I don't know how it happened, but initially started talking and teasing each other, making fun of each other. That's all it was, really. Oftentimes, she always came in with a Starbucks in her hand, and I think at times she poured alcohol in it. So she'd come into work a little bit tipsy or probably recovering from a party the other night or something like that. And then she would do the same thing back to me. She always makes fun of me, the way I look, the way I dress. Particularly, I always wore like a beanie. And the way I'm dressed now, she probably will make fun of me the way I look. And she always tend to compare me to some character from a show called Riverdale, I believe. I think his name is Jughead. I have never watched Riverdale, and she always referenced him, comparing him to me. So I was like, okay. But then I'll also make fun of her for what she likes, which was basically Vampire Diaries and all that stuff. We had like an interesting relationship as co-workers, just teasing and making fun of each other every time we walk in. Even though to other co-workers it sounded like we hated each other, I think between us we just know that we just play fighting. Like, it was nothing serious, nothing too deep. And the thing about that is I'm not sure how that our social skills transferred out of the workplace, but eventually we started like hanging out after our classes, after our work schedules. Few years later, I actually transferred to just hanging out at the malls or even outside in Toronto and Mississauga and all that. So I don't know how that happened, but we just started seeing each other more frequently. It was good. The reason I'm making a story about her is because she's probably one of the few people I've met so far that kind of understands me as an individual, and that's kind of rare, I suppose. Like, she's super intelligent. Her self-awareness and emotional intelligence is really up there. She's able to detect, or at least know, how the other person thinks or where they're coming from. And especially from a single male, a cis male, I suppose that's what they call it now. She understands my train of thought and where my opinions is coming from. I also did too. So nothing was ever taken personally, which I love. Nothing was ever taken so seriously, which I'm the person that doesn't really take a lot of things seriously, because at the end of the day, you look back and you could just laugh at those silly things that you thought was serious at those moments, right? I liked her for those reasons. But more importantly, I think she was one of the only people at that time that every time as a guy, when we address a situation, we often depicted as a bad person. But when I mentioned something, she never made me felt like I was a bad guy. That was just so beautiful. It's rare to feel that way, in a sense. And like, she was super understanding. And one of the character traits that kind of really connected us was basically we both were very depressed, in a way of like making self-deprecating jokes. That was our constant humor. Obviously, sometimes you take like, hey, are you actually seriously okay? That's just our coping mechanism, really, right? Even not making fun of it, she is also concerned concerned subconsciously about me, and I also was about her. So it's just funny how we just kind of pick each other apart in those sort of situations. And I know she has her trauma. Everyone has their sort of trauma, I suppose. Anyways, I'm talking too much about what she did and what she does. Let me help you, give you an imagery of her, because she has such unique features. Like, let me tell you, she has such unique features. I have no idea how close I can describe her appearance to you, and I have to use celebrities. That's the only way I could really describe someone now. So Val, she's like Indian and German mix. So the first celebrity I could think of is basically Megan Suri. I think she is the base model for Val here, for her beautiful complexion of her skin and somewhat dark features. Next, you have Nina Dobry. She kind of represents Val's blank expression and the way she smiles. It's a mix of her and another celebrity by the name of Kia Gerber. The energy she sort of gave off and the way she carried herself and her body type, very both similar. It's hard to describe, like I said, it's very hard. But I'm missing the most important feature of her face. It's basically her eyes. Her eyes, my guys. Her eyes were just, those eyes were large. Like I gotta say. But the shape and the color is the most unique thing I ever seen. I do not know the terminology to describe people's eyes technically. The best way I could describe it to you is basically mixing Billie Eilish's eye appearance. Like she has large eyes, somewhat droopy, right? Like Billie Eilish and Laura Henriette, they both have similar eyes. Big, they're tired, they're unimpressed. That's the sort of appearance they give off initially. Like they're just unimpressed all the time. It's also the color of her eyes. Her eyes were green as a Chaos Emerald from Sonic. It was just shining so bright. It was hard to look at her because her eyes were so bloody green. The thing is, what caught me is not just how green it was, it had a gothic touch to it. Like a gothic tan. It just matches her complexion of her face and the droopy tiredness, unimpressed of eyes. It just matched it all together. And for whatever reason, that that got me. Man, I could look at her all day if I can. That's the best way I could describe her. Like she's a mix of all of that. Like an Indian German person. I don't know how that's supposed to mix. She looks good. She looks good. Her voice was nice, definitely unique sounding. Yeah, man, she was a great person. So right off the bat, like she was just taking a lot of green flags for me. She was good with mental health, and she also continued to push me to grow as a person, and she never judged me. I don't think we ever judge each other. I mean, low-key we did judge each other of all our actions because we tend to be a little bit dramatic with each other, but you know what I mean. I think we were pretty compatible. We were very open sexually about things. Like we were both seeing each other but also exploring at that time as well. So she was just so understanding, and it's crazy how we were still talking after we graduated university. That was just wow to me. And for whatever reason, it kind of just escalated every now and then each time we met up. Sorry, I'm just reminiscing again. We just had such cool chats, and it's just fun times, really. Even though we were self-deprecating each other, we always had time to talk about like healing our minds and body, showing up with integrity, honesty, and protection and love for each other. You know, that's all you really need. And we also gifted each other. Like I remember one of our dates, we went to the mall together. We went to a Build-A-Bear workshop. We built a bear together. For example, we always got each other food. That was kind of fun. We always made fun of each other for like our exes and our past lives with other people and our preferences. Just think it personally. And she'd be talking about other people, and I don't take it personally because we're just open about everything. And I know I might be probably boring you at this point because this girl was seemingly perfect on the surface, right? Like she was perfect to the T. Until things got a little bit more personal. She started opening up about her, not just her mental illness, but also her physical illness and TMI, I suppose, but she's actually epileptic. And that's one thing that I will never truly understand. Like I might know about it, but it's something that I will never understand on her level. She's very patient and polite that she could explain the symptoms of how she feels to me. And I really appreciate that. But even though I'm very calm and low level and chill, she's also very calm and low level and chill. Obviously, I tend to have a little bit more high energy than her due to her condition. So that's like one of our obstacles back in the day, just to try to like actually find time to meet up and have a good time, because it sucks when you meet up with someone and you can only hang out for an hour or two, right? Like you really want to hang out with that person for the whole day. Unfortunately with her, it can only last for a few hours. That got me even a little bit more stressed and freaked out, because what if it actually happens? I wouldn't know what to do if she has a seizure or something like that. But anyways, and until last year near October, I was telling her I was going away back home for Trinidad for a while, just for a week. And somewhere along our conversation, I could probably show you the conversation, our chats just stopped. Just to update where I am, how are we doing? She never replied back. Nothing occurred. and I don't know what happened. And worst case scenario, I don't want to say it, I don't want to think it might have, gone to the afterlife. I really hope not. That's not the case. I don't know what happened, and that's why I'm making the story right now. Obviously, you can't force people to come back to your life. People come and go. Sometimes you lose people, and sometimes it's people that you care about a lot. And I did definitely care about her. Like, I just loved the immense effort that we were giving each other. Like, I was giving effort, she was giving effort, and effort is sexy to me. And it was just mutual. One of the best person I ever met that actually understood me as a person. She called me out on my non-seriousness, and I know this has been a character trait from my life. Like, I don't take a lot of situations seriously because they come and go. Like, life is like an ocean of waves, such as the earth and the weather. It's not gonna be sunny 24/7. You know what I mean? It's gonna rain, it's gonna snow. So I always see like a grander scope of things, of which that, oh yeah, this is just a wave that will come and go. So therefore, I don't take it as deep as other people might, and she understood that. I could go into all the details, right? But I just want to keep this video short. Like, I guess it's not really much of a story, is it? It's just more of me reminiscing about someone that is not in my life anymore. Oh my god, I'm a sad loser, my guy. What's the lesson here? What is the lesson? The lesson is cherish the people that come into your life. They may not be in forever, but they're there for a purpose. They're there to reveal a few things about yourself and could help you, push you to grow as a person. Because apparently, according to statistics, the people that you know, there's like 1 in 4 chance that someone has like a chronic illness. And she helped me understand a part of humanity that having some form of chronic illness that's related to epilepsy. She was the first and only person that I met that has that sort of condition, to be honest. But like I said, just appreciate the people that come, enjoy their moments, enjoy their time, and just enjoy each other's company back and forth. And that's what it is. Like I said, our humor was very I must say. A lot of people, if they hear our conversations, they'd be like, what the but it was just amusing, and we would just say a lot of dumb shit. I'm just hoping that she's good and well and living her best life. Like, honestly, we had plans. Like, last year we would talk about traveling together, we would talk about like moving into each other, potentially renting together and all that. It didn't happen, clearly. This is one of the stories that doesn't have a sad ending or a good ending. It just ended, and the worst part is I never said goodbye or see you later, and I'm not sure if I disappointed her or I just don't know. This is the start of my series. Hopefully, as I go on, I get a little bit more in depth and think about what I'm saying, because I'm just rambling at this point, and it's 2 a.m. in the morning. Hope you guys liked the video. Like and subscribe. See you guys later.
Hey there, Delilah, what's it like in New York City? I'm 1,000 miles away, but girl, tonight you look so pretty, yes you do. Times Square can't shine as bright as you.